How you doing, YouTube? Today we're back with a brand new video. So today's video is going to be a how-to, and I'm actually not going to speed this video up any. This is just going to be a from start to finish how to skim a wall using the sponge float method. So basically what we're going to do what we would do with any other wall, and we're going to first and second coat it. You can see here in the top right hand corner of the screen there's a hole. I'm filling this out with skim. It should have been done with bonding, but I ran out of bonding as I had to fill tracks basically all around the bottom of the walls up these stairs. So I run out of bonding, so you'll see me fill that with skim a little bit later on. But we just start off as normal with our first and second coats. Our first coat we're going to keep nice and tidy. And I do flatten it out, but I don't show you it in this video. And then it's the same with the second coat. We put our second coat on and we flatten it out. We keep it nice and neat, and then we close it in. But you'll see that later on. I'll just go through a few of the things that you should know if you're gonna use the sponge float method. If you are in England or you use British gypsum products, British gypsum actually specify on the website that their plaster is not to be sponge floated under any circumstances. So if you're using British gypsum, if you're going to sponge, do so at your own risk. Now, I have sponged British gypsum plaster before, and I know a lot of people do. There's a lot of other YouTube channels where you'll find multiple videos about sponge floating, and they all use this method with British gypsum. So I don't know if you're going to claim from their warranty, not that that's likely to happen because you're going to go back and fix it yourself, but if you were going to claim and they somehow found out that you used the sponge float, you might be in trouble. So just keep that in mind, basically. The thing that I would say about the sponge floating, it was designed for a different kind of plaster. So the Polish plasters that came over sort of in the boom, they came over and used the method that they use at home, which was basically they throw on the walls, they straighten it with a big straight edge, like a speed skim. They hit it with a sponge float and then they give it its final trowel, or maybe 2 trowels, something like that there. But that's where the method originally came from. There's probably been, as long as there's been sponges, I'm sure there's been plasters using sponges, whether it's here or in Poland, but that's basically where it came from. And British gypsum say that it's a different kind of plaster than boys use, so that's the reason they don't recommend it. The reason that they actually give is that it brings the grain to the surface, whatever aggregate or grain or whatever's in it, it brings it to the surface, and it weakens the plaster. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. And do your due diligence on that, so it's up to yourself whether you do this or not. As for whether it's faster or it's easier, I don't think it's faster. I'm pretty used to the way I finish plaster. I will first and second coat, close in, and then you'll see me doing it in this video where I sponge float. Usually I'll manipulate the surface of the plaster with a water brush, which is basically the same thing, just slightly different. I'm using the bristles of the brush rather than a sponge, and then I will give it its final trowel then once it starts to set. And I find it faster with a brush, but that's most likely because that's what I'm used to. If you don't use either of these methods, I think you will probably get on well with the sponge float. I've used a few different sponge floats over the years. Trying this out. I've used the ones with big pores, the ones with medium, and the ones with small pores. And the sponge float you'll see me using in this video is one with small pores, and it's the best sponge that I've used so far because the plaster doesn't get trapped in the sponge. One of the biggest problems that I run into before, using this method in the past, was that it took so long to clean the sponge out. But not only that, when you clean the sponge, I find the best way, especially the sponges with the the bigger pores, that you had to scrape it on the edge of something to get the plaster out of it. So what you would have done was you would have dipped it, you'd have scraped it on the edge, and what we used to do was big blue water barrels that we set outside the houses, and it done two things. It filled your water barrel full of dirty plaster water, which was okay because it all settled till the bottom, but the other thing it done was it pulled bits of sponge off, and it ruined the sponge float. You were going through one every 2 or 3 months, which isn't very good. With this, one of the previous videos that I uploaded to the channel, I done this in the same house but in a different room, and you'll see in that video when I cleaned the sponge out, I use the brush that I use for cleaning my drill, and I actually clean it out with that, and it works really well. I wasn't losing any of the sponge, so hopefully the sponge will last a bit longer. From I've done this job, I have done several other jobs. I also done the whole downstairs in this, and what I find is when I'm under pressure, when the plaster's setting, I won't reach for the sponge float. I basically go straight to the brush and trowel because that's what I'm used to. So take that for what it's worth. It's just my opinion. There's guys that have this down to a fine art. They will put their first coat on. They'll straighten it with a spatula with like a rubber blade, and then they'll put their second coat on, and then they'll straighten that and flatten that off with, again, a speed skim, whatever, with a metal blade, and then they'll get straight onto it after a few minutes with a sponge float. They'll soak it. They have spray bottles. They'll spray the whole wall, they'll sponge it, and they'll trowel the wall off with big massive trowel. And if I had all them things, I would try it. I have one speed skim which has a metal blade. If I had 2 speed skims and the spray bottle and the big trowel, I would try it. And I might actually, go and buy that stuff and do a review of doing it that way. So you can see here I'm starting to get the second coat on. The skim has started to set up ever so slightly. So now it's a bit tighter. I'm going to start to fill out these holes. what I done was I put, I blocked up it was a vent here. So what I done was I put some brick on, some brick in. I used bonding to, set the brick in place. And then I put a little tight coat of bonding over the face of the brick. But there's still a lot of suction on the brick, so what you'll see happens here, it's actually in the next bit of the video, but I'll tell you about it now. What you'll see is the moisture gets sucked out of the plaster, but that's okay. What we'll do is we keep putting sort of wet plaster over the top of it, and getting it to set nice. You'll also see here, when I'm laying on, you'll see me do this quite a lot, where, and I'll especially do it on bigger walls, where I'll take 3 big swipes from left to right, and then I'll come back with a drop on my trowel, and I'll fill the little bit on the ceiling angle, and then I'll put it down and flatten the plaster off. And the reason I do this is because I find it quite hard. Well, not hard, but it's more difficult, I feel, when you're going up and down from a ceiling angle. I would prefer it, if I can do it, if I have like a ceiling that's been freshly skimmed, or even one that's relatively flat, I'll just put a dab of plaster on the top of my trowel, and I'll run it along the inside of the angle. So did you know that you're not getting any dips? You'll see me doing it on the corner angles either side, where I'll just pull the trowel up and down with the nose or the heel of the trowel in the wall. You're probably going to see me do it here in a little second. And I feel like it gives it a cleaner edge. When I do this, I do the 3 big strokes and then come from the top down with just a little bit of plaster on my trowel. So you'll see here, I'll take the angles out, and then in a minute I will probably bring it down. I bring it out to get it nice and flat, sort of out away from the angle, and then I'll turn. I'll probably I can't actually remember whether I do it here or not, but I think I probably will. And watch me as I say that I don't do it. But yeah, I find it better. I think you get a better angle doing it this way. So that's basically the reason I do it. I definitely do it on the bottom, like, so you'll see that. If you're enjoying the video, I would like for you to take, or you also, you can see it here, I bring the trowel straight up the angle, and it gives you, it means that you know for a fact that your angle's straight. Yeah, so that's what I was going on about. If you're enjoying this video, if you could take the opportunity to go have a look at the link tree in the description. I have Amazon affiliate links there. The affiliate links are linked to tools, but also camera equipment and stuff like that I use for editing. If you click on that link and you buy either that tool or anything else on Amazon within 24 hours of clicking that link, I get a percentage, and it's a good way to support me without actually having to physically give me money, because you're just basically buying what you were going to buy anyway, and then I get a percentage of it, and it doesn't cost you any more, and you support me that way. Or if you wanted to, you could sign up to Patreon, where you'll get extra video stuff like that, or the buy me coffee link. But you know, whatever, any money that I get is going to be put straight back into the channel. So buying better equipment, buying tools for reviews, that sort of stuff. you know, maybe the money that I make from it will go to making the video with the spray bottle and the speed skims and that sort of stuff. So yeah, we're getting till the end now of us laying this plaster in. You can see I'm trying to get it sort of as flat as I can. This wall was actually setting pretty fast, to be honest with you. You can see here I have, as I said, I had 3 rooms in this, 3 walls in this room put on, and then I go in and put another wall in the room next door, and I skim the 2 rooms in one day. So, yeah. So, but it's setting pretty quick, and it's a good test for the sponge float, this wall, because it was starting to set up, and it did help a bit. You can see here I again put the stuff right into the angle, and it takes any like slacks or bumps or dips or humps, you know, because I can keep my trowel completely flat. So I'll run it up the angle like that, and then I'll come out, and then I'll run it up again just slightly out from the angle. Yeah, and that's how I make sure that I get my angles completely flat. So now we're going to go to sponging. So you can see we're giving this wall a good soak. When you're using these sponge floats, you have to use plenty of water. If not, the sponge gets stuck. It will like pull lines and stuff in your plaster, and you're just going to do the figure of 8 motion. I find usually the best, whether you're doing it up or down or from side to side. You want to sort of be doing a figure of 8. You want to be going over the same spot a few times also. You want to make sure that there's no sort of flat smooth spots. You can see here it like leaves a really heavy texture on the wall, and this is only manipulating sort of the first millimeter or so of plaster. This is already set enough where it's not, you know, it's not taking away any plaster. You know, it's just softening it up. When you're doing that with a sponge float, you're also, it's like rubbing up sand cement. You're getting the surface uniform, you're getting it sort of till the same level. And you see here we're just adding more plaster till this little bit where it's actually dried out. We just want it nice and tidy. After this trowel, I'll only actually trowel this wall one more time, and I've had people say to me about that I'm not troweling the walls enough, but you know, I would challenge anybody to come and have a look at my work. All my walls are I plaster the same way every single day, and every wall that I've ever done, well, maybe not every wall, but 99.9% of the walls that I do are flat and straight. So, you know, take that for what it is. I do like the process of sponging, but you definitely sort of want to get as much water on it as you can. That's definitely the key to it. This, as I say, this is already like set relatively far, and I probably would have liked to get on this a little bit earlier, if I'm honest. But we get on it when we get on it, and that's it. So you see again, we're just agitating the surface of the plaster, and then we're going and we're making sure we're getting our angles. And we're just trying to get it sort of uniform texture. the whole way through. You can see here that bit of cornicing that's missing. I actually replaced that. It was one of the last days I was on the job. I had a few bits and pieces left to do, and that was one of the things that I replaced, but I didn't get a video because that day it was, I had like one of the big massive rooms down the stairs to skim in one day, and I was there to like 10 o'clock at night trying to get everything done. So I didn't get any video of that, but I'm actually looking to get into cornice repair. There's not very many people do it here where I am, and the boys that do it charge an absolute fortune. So thinking about getting into it myself, you know. So you can see it does leave the wall nice. It leaves it nice, neat and tidy. I actually had somebody on a previous video slobbering because I coughed halfway through. Yeah, they weren't very happy with me coughing. I'm also going to leave the sound on this video. I wanted to leave it at normal speed so that you could have a good look at everything I was doing. But I'm going to leave the sound on it too. I actually had COVID the day that this was one of the last days that I tested positive. But I was actually in the house on my own, so it wasn't a big deal that way. But yeah, so I'm a bit wheezy and coughy. I'm gonna actually sort of turn the volume down a bit, and then obviously with me talking over it, you're not gonna hopefully hear me breathing too heavily. But yeah, you'll see here. I'll always do this. Also, I will square up both angles. So when you're up here, even if you're not going to go on and finish the next wall, you're always better trialing out your angles and getting them as tidy as you can, as early as you can. If I trowel into one corner and leave marks in the other side, and something happens and that wall starts to set, coming back and trying to fix it once it's already setting you're asking for trouble. So I'll always bring it out sort of half a meter from the wall, from the corner, before I go back. And what I'll do here is you're going to see that I'm going to actually soak the whole wall. I didn't do that at the top. I only done it like a square at a time. But because there's no sockets or anything in this wall, I'm going to walk from left to right. So the same way I would walk a ceiling, I'm going to walk this wall. You're always better cross troweling whenever you can. So, you know, trowel up and down one and from side to side the next. It's the best way to get a good finish. And I'm just making sure here with the sponge that I'm also going further up past my trowel marks. You know, I'm bringing it up slightly further than I troweled down, to make sure that there's no band in the middle where you see where I've brought it too far down, or not far enough down, or whatever. So what I usually do is I'll tidy up the angle on the side that I'm walking to, because I'm not going to trowel that out. And then I'm going to just walk across, and I'm going to trowel with big trowel motions. Yeah, and this is I find the best way to do it. You want to make sure to bring your trowel mark up past. You see, I'm just going higher than I brought it down. and that just completely stops any of the trowel marks from above showing through. And you can see there already the wall's starting to get a nice shiny finish to it. I want to make sure that I take all the lines off at this stage. I also want to take any holes or imperfections. This is when I do it. The trowel after this, if you try to use the fat to fill, what you're going to do is, if you use the fat to fill then, you're going to leave watermarks, and you'll see, sometimes you'll see it in my work, like, but you do see it in almost every plasterer's work, when they find a little hole and they try to fill it after this point, then you see a clear watermark. It looks like milky white on the finished plaster. Now you don't see it once the wall's completely dried out, but it just makes your work look super untidy. Yeah. So this is we're going to be going here for the last coat, or the last trowel. You can see there the dried out part is almost completely gone now. We're just going to tidy up our angles, making them nice and neat and tidy. Yeah, and basically that's it. We're just going to flexi. This is an 18-inch flexi trowel. If I could get a bigger one, I would for sure. But yeah, I love this flexi trowel. I actually had someone message. In one of the previous videos, I scraping windowsills and skirting boards with a flexi trowel, and then I think the comment was something like, your work's going to be shit because your flexi trowel is going to have nicks in it because you use it to clean the windowsills and stuff, but it's actually a different flexi trowel. It's my old one. It's a smaller 16-inch flexi trowel, and the only reason that I keep it is because it's flexible, and when you're cleaning sort of stuff, or when you're scraping, especially off like window frames and stuff, scraping the old plaster off window frames, it's really good for it, If you're not confident with the angles also, get yourself an angle trowel. They're super helpful. I didn't hit this one angle trowel because I wanted to show you me freehanding, using the flexi trowel and the sponge and the cutting trowel, but freehanding the angles. Just to show you like how neat you can actually get them if you take your time and you get them nice and tidy as early as possible. Yeah, but basically that's all I've really to say about this, about sponging. If you have any questions, anything you just want answered, feel free to stick a comment or contact me on one of the social media sites. I respond to almost every message on in the description, so there's probably the best place to leave it. Yeah. Go and have a look at some of my social media, because all these jobs that you see, there's like loads of other jobs in between that I don't make videos of, but you will see the finished products, mostly on my Facebook page and my Instagram, but you'll also get sort of videos independent from YouTube that are TikTok only, basically, sort of shorter form videos. So go and check out the TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. when the website is up and running, obviously go and have a look at the website. Yeah, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because it definitely helps. If you like the video, and comment also. That helps with YouTube's algorithm, and it sort of pushes me up. It makes my videos more visible to people. You know, it basically helps me grow. So comment and thumbs up if you're enjoying it. And also, if you are subscribed but you're not seeing all my videos, hit the bell notification. And you'll get a notification every time that I post a video. So if you're interested in seeing everything that I do, go ahead and have a gander at that. This is going to be probably the new style of how-to videos. I'm not sure I'm going to do this every week, but I am going to do quite a few of these. I'm also going to do like the next bonus video that comes up is going to be a video with no talking, and just a short intro and music over the top of it. So if you enjoy that, it's going to be up later today. Yeah, and yeah, I'm going to start going live on TikTok. That was the last time, so I'm going to start doing lives on TikTok. So if you're interested in seeing that there, go and have a look on the TikTok. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one.